It's with immense pleasure that I welcome Virtual Internships, which is one of the premier strategic alliance partners here at MSM Unify. And today we are going to talk in detail about one of the most important aspects in the life of every international student, that is internships and career development. To talk more about on this interesting topic, today we have Owen Igwin from Virtual Internships. Just to give a brief about virtual internships. So virtual internships has been redefining the concept of talent acquisition and career development over the years and facilitating international students in finding internships in tremendous amount of areas spanning different career fields. With virtual internships, I really feel that students have the golden opportunity to explore what they've learned in a classroom, implement that in the real world, and gain some serious skills on their resume. Owen, I open up the platform for you to start, and I welcome you to MSM Unify webinar today.
Thanks, Abhinat, for the brief introduction to me and to virtual internship. And it's really great to have you all attendees joining today to learn more about virtual internship. And I hope that all the information of the presentation that I'm gonna presenting would be helpful for you to learn more about the remote working trend in the 21st century, and also a quick introduction about virtual internship program and how it benefits to the student. So give me 1 second while I share my screen. Right. So I believe that you all can see my screen now, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. So as you all know, that today we're mainly talking about remote working trend and the virtual internship program, how it's appeared in this century, especially after the pandemic situations. My name is Owen Nguyen. I am based out in Vietnam at the moment, and I am right now based in the head office of Virtual Internship in Ho Chi Minh City. I am a partnerships account manager, and it's really honor for me to work with MSM Unify to promote this opportunity to all the students globally. So for today's presentation, I am going to walk you through 3 main contents. The first one, we introduce you what is a remote work. I believe that most of us will be more familiar with remote work trend, especially after the pandemic. And the second, I will walk you through the virtual internship program. What does this look like, and to help you to understand the placement process when a student joins the virtual internship program. Right, so what is remote work and what does it look like and what are the benefits? So we all know remote work, we can also call in various ways of name. We can call it work from home or virtual work or telecommuting. It is a type of flexible working arrangement that allows an employee to work from a remote location outside of corporate physical offices. Like you can work from anywhere without commuting to your offices, but you still be able to ensure all the projects or the work that you have delivered and its quality. So where are the remote workers normally based? So we have several methods of a remote worker you usually choose, but I have already picked out 3 most popular remote working methods that most of us are kind of using right now. So the most popular thing is people choose to work at home. So they have a workstation at their own home, and many remote workers have set aside in an office to work from their own comfort home. There are many people as well they feel like isolated at home, but they work remotely, so they choose to go to a co-working space to rent a small space or flexible space to work on their own, but still have the community around them to connect with. The community around would be another remote worker come from different company, come from different industry, where they will be able to connect to do the networking in their break time. And the first one would be digital nomads, where I can say 20% of virtual internship employees are digital nomads now. So what does it mean? It means like they will not only work from their own comfort home, they will not only work from the co-working space, they will be able to travel to different countries or different city within the country to work. They just only need their laptop and also the Wi-Fi to connect with the internet to communicate with other colleges and clients. So this is really interesting part. You can combine between traveling and working at the same time without needing to planning in advance for so long. Right. So who works remotely currently? A recent study by Harvard University noted that 77% of US workers would like to remain 100% remote working following the COVID, after the COVID. 55% of US workers would like to work hybridly, for example, 2 to 3 days a week from home and the others in the office. 18% of US workers would like to return to the office full-time following COVID. So in this 27% and 55% of US workers, they prefer to work hybridly or completely remote work because they found really so many benefits of to work remotely. For example, it helps them to reduce cost for traveling from their home to the office. Also, it helps the company to reduce costs in terms of renting and also running the office as well. And it also saves times a lot in commuting and also traveling, and it's really helped you to be more energetic when you just wake up and then you do some really quick personal thing and then you go back to the next without traveling and feel tired after traveling when you arrive in the office. The other 18% of US workers would like to return to the office because because of their specialty of the work that they need to interact in person. For example, like for the doctors or for engineer, they have to go to the factory and stuff to interact in person to ensure the work qualities. So as you can see here, like after the pandemic, there are 4 big corporations that you can see in the screen: Facebook, Apple, PwC, and Slack, and instant messenger platform. They have decided to let their employee to choose to work hybridly or 100% work remotely for some departments that that are not required to interact in person in the office. They let the employee to work from their own comfort home. That saves the company's money and also the employee money as well. It's really great. So understand all of these things and after the pandemic, and understand the trending of the remote work in the future, we Virtual Internship have designed a very dedicated program to help students to gain professional skill in remote work, especially some technology skill, and also to have the opportunity to connect with global work experience while they staying at home and while there are some restrictions due to the traveling at the moment happening globally. So here we are. Virtual Internship is an edtech company that delivers global work experience programs to help young people pursue their dream careers. Our mission is to help students bridge the gap between the education and the workplace by making the internships accessible to all and preparing young people to the future of work. So what it means by accessible to all? So joining our Virtual Internship program is not only for students, but also for professional worker who wish to switch their career industry as well. So if they have experience in finance, they want to switch to NGO and they don't have experience, they need to have some basic experience to apply for a company. And maybe most of the company really hesitate to kind of employ all the employee who like are very middle age or who already have experience because they think that the salary expectation will be high. So the virtual internship would be a good opportunity for them to spend about maximum of 4 months to gain global work experience in the industry that they want to work for. So Next, I would like to introduce you further details of the virtual internship program and how it's worked and what does it look like. What is the virtual internship? In general, we have several names again, like remote work. We can call it remote internship, online internship, teleworking, telecommuting. It's all mean the same thing, and you just only need your laptop and can work directly from your own comfort home without commuting. So when you join in a virtual internship, you will be able to gain a global work experience while completing the internship from the comfort of your own home. You will be fully supervised and supported as you gain industry knowledge from within your chosen career field. At the same when you complete the in-person internship. When completing a remote internship, many of the same aspects of the traditional in-person internship still exist as well. For example, meetings, you still have the meetings, but it's just a small difference that you will be conducting meeting online via Zoom. This is how we are connecting to it of attendees at the moment in this webinar. And also you will also complete a mix of individual and group project as well. Individual project you will work on their own and submit to the supervisor, and group project you will be able to connect with your group mates via online via Zoom or Slack chat or some messenger online messenger app that are available at the moment to complete the project. And so also learning about the overall company culture and industry is working via online networking or via website or via researching. But there's one thing unlike the traditional internship that makes it with online internship, there will be much more flexibility of the hours that the student work for, the project timelines, and how you connect with your teammates. So how different? So when you commit in the in-person internship, you have to commit the fixed hour per day that you work. For example, 8 a.m. in the office and then 5 p.m. leave the office. But with remote work, we don't like the employer won't require the hours that you will maybe work, but they only require the project deadline that you have to commit with. It means that in the morning, you can have time to do your own exercise, or you can go out to sort some personal thing, then go back in the afternoon and work until you feel that you finish the projects, etc. So you will have your own ownership to the time, to the working hours. It's much more flexible for you to arrange at the same time with your personal thing as well. Also the project timeline, for example, in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, all the project timeline this week, another week have to be followed tightly. But with this, you have a really flexibility because you have flexible hour of work. So you will have a flexible timeline. You will be able to set on their own timeline to achieve the final goals. And also their flexible way to connect with your teammate, with your friend, with your boss as well. It kind of like you don't need to be in the office at this time and book a meeting room, but you will be able to catch up really quickly via Zoom, just one click, and then you will be able to meet and speak with each other. So why a student should complete an internship with virtual internship? By joining our virtual internship program, student will be guaranteed an internship 100%. So in the chosen career field of their choice. So when they join our program, they just only need to define their preferred career field and then apply to us. And then we guarantee them 100% that they will get an internship. There will be no need to worry if they fail or if they pass the interview, will they be able to kick out of the program or not. It will never happen, and we guarantee an internship in a career field of their choice. So they will save their time in finding an internship, applying, interviewing, and worry if they fail, they will have to do the process again. So I save a lot of time for students. Also, joining our program, it doesn't mean that once the student get placed with the host company, we will leave student with the host company 100%. It's not going to happen by joining our program. We do have a dedicated team to provide a professional support to students at the same time while student completing the internship with the host company supervisor. And what support, I will go a little bit further details on the next slide. Also, we have global host company. At the moment, we have over 10,000 host company available in over 72 countries around the world. It means that we have plenty of projects that are available to match with the student needs in terms of career field, in terms of specific role that students want to do in the future, and we will base on that to have a look for them an internship. To enable students to articulate their learning, we have embedded 8 core skills through our own employability program from the beginning to end with via self-check-in from student and also from the host community supervisor. As you can see here, 8 core skill has been finalized by National Association of Colleges and Employers, is a US organization, career rating competency. So we based on that, they have done several research each year to figure out what like the future employers really need from their future employee, what kind of skill and competency they really need when they look at the CV and then when they choose the future employees. You can see here we have professionalism, communication, critical thinking, teamwork, leadership, equity, inclusion, career and self-development. And you can see here technology is really need for future employees. That's why when students join the virtual internship, they do everything remotely. So they have the opportunity to access to several ways, to several technology platforms to learn more about that, to show their flexibility when they apply for future jobs. Joining our virtual internship program, again, students will be guaranteed a remote internship in the duration of their choice. It means that students can choose to intern with us from 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months, and they can choose to intern in full-time or part-time. It means that they will be able to choose to intern in 10 hours or 20 hours or 30 hours per week. So if students choose to intern in the summer, they can maximize their benefits. They can choose to intern in 4-month internship and 30 hours per week. So they kind of intern full-time for 4 months with the host company. Also, they would get a 360-degree student support from virtual internship team. They will be assigned to a dedicated intern experience manager who will be the main point of contact between virtual internship and the host company. This means that when they have any problem or any question or any concern with their host company as well and with the program, they will be able to reach out to this person or book a quick call via Zoom with this person to address any concern that they have, and we will be able to support them. Also, to not let the student feel isolated when they work remotely at home, we have several webinars and online events, and the webinar will be conducted bi-weekly via Zoom, where we will invited industry experts or the C-suite from the virtual internship company will be able to share their tips, share the failures and how they build up from the failure to successful, so that students can learn more of the industry and of the tips, which really helpful for their future career to succeed. And also the online community, we are using the Slack chat where students will be invited to that community and they will be able to connect with other interns from different countries and from different career fields as well. For example, I am based in Vietnam and I reach out to another intern in the US. So when I talk to them, I will be able to understand how the US job market at the moment and how it's competitive at the moment, so that I can better prepare and do the networking. So if they have any great job opportunity, they will be able to introduce and refer to each other. Joining our program, students will be assigned an internship course. So this internship course will be different from the internship experience manager. This coaching will connect with students 2 times during the internship. The first will be the midpoint and the final one will be the end point, to understand the student needs and to understand the student career goals and to help them really define the short-term or long-term goals of career after the internship ended, what they need to do to succeed in their future career, and also the useful resources that they need to take. Also, this internship course will based on the supervisor feedback on the student, and also define the weaknesses and the strength, what they need to be improved further in the future to get succeed in this specific roles that they wish to work in the future. Also, Virtual Internship has designed an online curriculum which we call Career Bridge. This is an e-learning, and we have about 15 course modules for students to complete. It's all the way from CV, how to stand out in the remote interview, how to be confident in front of the camera, and so on. So students will have flexible time to access to this e-learning platform to really learning from each module, which they can use during the internship and after the internship as well. So after completing the internship, students will get receive a certificate of participation from the virtual internship, and also they will receive an end of program report. So in this report, it will include the supervisor evaluation. So every week we have the placement team. We connect with the supervisor to really understand the feedback of the student, how have they been doing good or bad, and what they need to do to improve further. We will pull out a report of all evaluation from the supervisor and send to students so that they will have reference for their future and to improve for their future as well. Also, if they complete all the courses from the Career Bridge, they will receive a report of all the modules that they have completed and a certificate of participation for this Career Bridge course as well. A student assessment, we have compiled all the reports that students have submitted weekly assessment to really identify themselves, what kind of competency that they are at beginning of the internship and how it gets after the internship, to really identify how quick or the speed of the improvement they have been achieving. And also the final one is the global career management plan, including short-term or long-term plan that have been done with the internship course at the final internship at the final coaching call, and also what kind of useful resources they need to do, strengths and weaknesses, and also a really professional plan for them to follow after the internship to get succeed in their future career. We have a really beautiful data here. So we have hosted over 12,000 total interns globally up until now. And we have 36% of our interns have been offered future position at their host company. So the host company, after they work with the student, they feel that the student performed really well and they want to offer a full-time job for the student. So it means that they don't need to spend time to look for a full-time job position after the internship they've been offered. But of course, it's work remotely, or the company will sponsor students to come to that country to work. It depends on the communication with the host company and the student. It's not included in our guarantee, but we do have 36% of interns who have been offered that. We have 97% of interns who begin the internship and have completed. Some the remaining 3% of students, they feel that they cannot cope with the remote working and they cannot use that, so they drop off at the middle point. And 92% of interns agree that the remote internship was a valuable learning experience, and 83% of them are ready and really confident in gaining future employment after completing the virtual internship program. So to apply to the virtual internship program, the student will go through the four key steps. The first one, as we can see, like the admission process, they have to fill in the application form and complete the application and complete the interviews. After we receive the application, we will review that, and our placement team will begin their work to look for them an internship based on the application and student reference. It means that we will not let the student to choose the host company and the project. We will base on student CV, experience, and student demands to really look for them the best suited internship. Once the student has interviewed with the host community supervisor and have been offered and they accept the offer, they will begin the internship and complete the internship. After completed internship, they will receive feedback and planning ahead with an end of program report that I already showed you. So before students go to admissions step, we would highly recommend students to really understand the career field. So we are offering 18 career field at the moment, and students will be able to choose one of those 18 career field to intern with, and we guarantee an internship in that career field that students have already chosen. The next step is that student will have the opportunity to choose 3 options of the country that the host company is based on. So for example, I want to intern in a company based in the US, and then the second choice would be the UK, and the third choice would be open to all opportunities in all countries. So our placement team will have a look at the beginning. For example, okay, the student want to work in a company in the US, and we will prioritize to look at all the project and host company in the US first. If we don't have any project available and suitable for this student profile, we will have a look at the second option. So we give students 3 options to choose their country interest, their host company country interest. But this is not in our guarantee, but we will prioritize our work to really satisfy student need and to help them the opportunity to experience the internship in the host company country that they wish for. You can see here we have 18 internship career field from business, engineering, finance, marketing, all the way to international development and NGOs. And details of each career field, what kind of example project are available on our website as well. If you need further information, feel free to reach out to MSM Unify and they will be able to provide you with more information. So with the application stuff, we will ask the student to complete the online application form, which only takes student about 5 minutes to walk through. So we will require their personal details, their interests, for example, career field, the duration of the internship, their future career dream, so that we can base on it to find them the best placement. After submit the application form, they will be offered a call with one of our enrollment manager to discuss further the option. For example, they know they want to work with that role, but they don't know which kind of career field available that's best suited for them. They can book a call with this enrollment manager, and they will help them to choose the best suited career field. Or any question about virtual internship program, they can ask in this call. After that, they will receive the offer letter from virtual internship and an email asking them to submit one-way video application. As you can see on the screen here, the student will be able to see the question. There will be about 3 to 5 questions, very short questions, just about introduce themselves and introduce about their understanding of the industry that they have already chosen to work for an internship. After they read the question, they will record it themselves. And we have the system. They just need to follow the instruction and record it themselves answering this question. And students no need to put any pressure on that, because if students are not happy with their first work, they will be able to submit the second work to resubmit again until they feel happy with that. Right, so this is really important, and a lot of students misunderstanding about this. So by joining our program, it is not working like virtual internship. Will provide students multiple options of the project and host company for students to look at. For example, we don't do like, hey, here is host company A, B, C. Please look at that and choose the best one that you want to interview with. Our placement team will have a look at student profile. Then they will send the student profile to several host company that they feel that is really suitable for these students. And if any host company interested in their student, in this student's CV and profile, they will send an interview invitation. And we will send this notification to the student. Hey, we find you host company A, and this is a schedule for a virtual interview with this host company. Please able to confirm that, and then join an interview with that host company. When the student join the virtual interview with the host company, if the host company like them, they will send the offer letter immediately after that interview. And student will consider if they want to accept that offer or not. If students are not really happy with that project or host company, for example, no, I don't really like to work in this industry. I want to work in another industry. So student will reject that offer, and we will continue to look for them another internship and with another host company. And it means that the host company A will be off the table, and there is no opportunity for students to look back to that options, because we want students to really take their time to focus on the project. Is it aligned with their career goals or not? We don't want students to really waste a lot of time to focus on the host company side, because some students really want to work in a big company because they think that's good for their CV, but it's not work right. It doesn't work like that, because majority of company, they really need an employee who have solid experience in the role that they are recruited for. So that's our main goal as well. So please clarify with this linear placement process and how it's worked when they join virtual internship program. So as I mentioned, we are now working with over 10,000 host company around over 80 countries around the world. As you can see here, some example name of the host company we're working with, for example, Amazon, as APL Logistics, Nando's, and etc. Here is, you can see our host company breakdown. We are now working with 50% of the host company who are SMEs, medium-sized company, 40% of startups, and 10% of large companies. But I have received a lot of feedback from the students that they found that working in startup really helpful for their career, because they have the opportunity to work with the director, the senior management level, to really learn a more valuable perspective from them, rather than working with a lot of companies. They will be assigned to a supervisor who would be a manager of a team, small team, and learning perspective within the roles only. They don't really have the opportunity to learn from different aspects of the industry. So this is kind of an example and what feedback that we have been received. That's why we focus on startup and SME to maximize the student experience when they join the virtual internship. Right, so before I ended the presentation, this is a virtual internship demo really showing you what happening from the beginning to end of the internship, how students walking through from the application stuff and our program inclusion. So I'm gonna play it now. Let me know if you can hear that.
Welcome to Virtual Internships. We are an edtech company that delivers global work experience programs to help people pursue their dream careers. We bridge the gap between education and the workplace by making internships accessible to all and preparing people for the future of work. Our intuitive platform allows candidates to submit their application for an internship with one of our thousands of host companies. They record a video interview, outline their skills, and specify the projects they'd like exposure to. During the matching process, candidates can research host companies, read about specific placement projects, and then schedule their own interviews with the host company, all within the platform. Once the internship has started, weekly checkpoints are completed within the platform, forming part of our essential feedback loop with their supervisors. For our host companies, the use of the platform is also easy and intuitive. They set up a profile and then add one or more placement plans. They give plenty of detail about the projects and the skills an intern will gain exposure to, ensuring a great match. Host companies can search through candidate profiles or a way to match, and all the offers and confirmations happen within the platform. Supervisor evaluations are submitted within the platform, completing the feedback loop with the students' weekly checkpoints, and allowing full monitoring of the internship. Career Bridge is just one of our program inclusions, which runs alongside the internship and helps participants get the most out of their program. It is self-paced and full of modular content, helping students reflect and improve their skills. This example shows content on time management. Course completions are logged and it's gamified with badges and scoreboards, as you can see here. Participants and facilitators can also check overall progress, login times, and module completions. Our expert webinar series runs live every 2 weeks, and recordings are made available on YouTube. Speakers have included Mitch Lowe from Netflix and Lin Yu from Goldman Sachs. They cover a wide range of topics. Finally, each participant gets 2 coaching calls, one at the midpoint and one at the end point, to unpack their experience and set them up for success in their future careers.
Overall, I really loved my internship during the past summer. It was very beneficial. I learned a lot from it, and I encourage anybody who is looking into having a virtual internship that you look it up, you will not regret it.
So far, we've hosted 3 interns from virtual internships, and it's been amazing. I would definitely, and I'm really looking forward to hosting more virtual internship interns because they've been so great.
Right, so this is the end of the demo, and I hope that I did really bombard you with so many information about virtual internship and remote work. So now it's a Q&A time. So if you have any questions about virtual internship or the employability opportunities for students, feel free to ask in the Q&A section.
Well, Van, that has really been an enlightening session, and I truly believe it was highly productive for our audience out there. We both know and agree that internships are one of the most sought after things which international students look, and it can be quite challenging for them to look for these internships in the first place. And I'm very happy that MSM Unify has partnered with an edtech company like yours to facilitate international students out there to support them in finding the right internship. Well, as you said, so we are happy to open the platform for question and answers. Any doubts and questions are most welcome, and we will be happy to answer them. And the moment when the questions come in, I have some few questions from my side on behalf of MSM Unify for you. So I really like the Career Bridge inclusion in the program of virtual internships. So as a student, I would like to know that the moment I apply or submit my application for internship, in what time frame I can receive a confirmed internship? Typically, how much time it takes? I know it can be variable, but just to get an idea.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. Since the student submitted the full application, is mean that application form and video application, we will need at least 6 weeks to look for student in internship. It might be quicker than that, but we need average 6 weeks. That's why we also require students to submit the full application in advance, 6 weeks in advance to their chosen program start date. So, for example, if students choose the program start date 4 weeks in advance, we will contact students to push back the program start date to another 2 weeks to ensure that 6 weeks, so our placement team can have enough time to look for student internship placement. But for some cases, student after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, student had already have a host company interview and they confirm that. But yeah, so we could say that 6 weeks that we needed to confirm an internship for your student.
It is good. And when I apply as a student, so what typically I'm required to submit as part of my application package? Am I required to submit my academic transcript or any kind of English proficiency test score?
Yeah, so when applying to virtual internship, we want to simplify everything for students, and we want them to spend time to experience the internship program and gain more experience in that. So we don't require so many documents from students. What we require is a really beautiful CV and a really clear mindset of what they would want to do for their future career, so that they can choose the best suited future career, and they're ready like vibes to really join in the virtual internship and to complete the whole program completely.
We have a question at Q&A. It's from Mr. Vikas Sharma. He wants to know which countries you accept students to apply for virtual internships. I mean, he wants to know the source market from which those countries you are right now accepting students to apply for internships.
Yeah, so with countries to ask to accept students to apply for virtual internship, it's like because virtual internship we don't really require them to commute or anything else. We just need students to have a laptop and really complete the program from their own home. So we open for all the students from different countries. So it means like
Okay.
globally, any student can still apply for virtual internship program.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's quite a flexibility. So that opens up the real opportunities. And typically, Owen, which kind of study fields you would rate that are quite popular among students? If you can name any of the career fields which have high interest among students.
Yeah, so it depends on the country actually, but so far we have a majority of students who apply for business. You can clearly see, right? Finance, computer science and IT, marketing and HR. That is our most popular career field that a lot of students are choosing. But like up until 2021, we have a lot of US and European students apply for internship, and I believe that data would be belong to those students. And for Asia students, we have a lower number of students apply for work internship, and we hope that we will get more in the coming years. But in general, the business that you can all see when you work with student business is really popular. It's mostly when students really unsure about what they want to work for, so they want to really expose the industry to figure out what kind of available roles are suitable for them. So,
And there's a final question for this event. So, typically, in your, I would say, statistics, in which year students are usually looking for internships? For example, in a bachelor's degree, are they reaching out in their second year or in their third year, or let's say in the final year? So, what is the typical trend?
yeah, we have variety of the 8 range of student. We have student in the first year, second year, or final year as well. It's kind of really equally, and we mainly work with some UK university partner, and they offer their student internship, and they embedded our program into their curriculum. So it means that this will target to the third year student, like the final year student, to really experience the real industry before they graduate and to make the internship report as well. But we do have students applying directly since they graduated high school as well, and in the first year, because they want to really know if they have already chosen the right course in the university, and they have time to switch the course in the during the first year. So it kind of equally, I really can't say what are the most popular trend of the 8 brand joining our program.
That's understandable. That's understandable. Well, I think there's another one in the Q&A. Okay, so there's a question from Kunal. He wants to know, is it necessary to opt for an internship that can relate to your current study program? For example, student pursuing an arts program, can he apply for an HR internship if he or she wishes to do so?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for raising that question. And this question is really one of the most popular I have been receiving so far. So this is not necessary for students to apply to virtual internship. that must be related to their current study program, because this virtual internship is open for students to really expose the industry that they wish to work for in the future. And sometimes students choose the wrong course in the university. Of course, I agree, because myself has been in the same when I was in university. So it's really easy to understand. That's why we don't require that. But for example, if they study in HR, right? Or if they study art and they want to work for HR, they must have the really fundamental knowledge about HR and really understand what they might be doing. And for my recommendation, if students want to switch career like that, while waiting to be placed with an internship, they can go to LinkedIn or Coursera to learn 2 or 3 basic courses to understand really about what HR is and what kind of sector included in HR, to have a basic understand, because the students will work directly with the host community supervisor and they really work in the real project, real contribution to the company. So we expect them to have at least fundamental understanding about the career field that they have already chosen.
That makes perfect sense, I'm sure. There's another question from the chat. Can a student apply for full-time job in the company where he or she has completed his virtual internship?
Yes, they can absolutely apply for a full-time job with the host company that they have already completed the virtual internship. But noting that this is not our guarantee. We cannot guarantee students will have full-time job with that host company, but we open the space for students to communicate directly with the host community supervisor or with the host community to see whether they will be able to offer the student a full-time or part-time job or the future employment opportunity or not. But I can say yes, they can still do it.
Definitely, we also saw those stats. 97% of the students, they do complete their internship, and 36% they end up receiving a full-time job offer. I believe they are excellent statistics in this time and age for sure. Okay, so we don't have any more questions in the Q&A. So yeah, well, I think that's a wrap. So it has been an absolute pleasure hosting you today for this event, and I'm sure our audience has thoroughly enjoyed it, and they will be reaching out to their students for virtual internships and guiding them all along their path for fulfilling their career goals. So thank you once again, and we'll meet again for our next event.
Thank you, Abhinav. Thank you, MSM, and thank you everyone for taking your time joining the webinar today. And really great to be delivered a virtual internship program. You will be definitely receiving many interesting questions when you speak to your student, because they have really great question in their mind always. So if you have any questions that you might not be able to answer, feel free to reach out to MSM or to me. I would be happy to support you to answer them.
And we will do share our email ID so that anyone who has not been able to put a question, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be happy to support and answer that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a lovely weekend, you all.